Nate here. I was thinking about the hedonistic paradox. You familiar with that?
In Titus?
No, the hedonism paradox is something I was reading in a secular journal, and let me switch off my Bluetooth there. The hedonistic paradox is basically the more pleasure you seek, the more discontent you are with the pleasure you have, so you continuously seek additional pleasures. Are you familiar with that paradox at all?
No, but it makes sense. I mean, if your focus, I mean, it's sort of a basic Christian teaching that if your focus is upon satisfying your physical lusts, you can never get enough. You will become a slave of that which you seek to experience. So maybe that just sounds like sort of a philosophical way of saying the same thing.
That probably is. I mean, everything pretty much goes back to the premises and principles of God, but it seems to me like when you do actual research and what the world has to say about it, it matches a lot with what we're seeing with the current LGBTQA, whatever you want to call it, movement. Because with the hedonistic paradox, the more a person gets into it, the more violently, in some cases, they'll lash out and react against others who do anything that, of course, kills their buzz.
Right. Well, yeah, there is. I think there's a lot of reasons for the dedication of homosexuals to their movement. That would be part of it, but I think even more than that is the suppression of the knowledge of God and the fact that they want people, that they demand that people celebrate them and their sexuality. The reasons for that, I think, are only understandable within a Christian worldview. I don't think a secularist, they might be able to come up with the hedonistic paradox or something like that, but I don't think that really answers the whole range of reasons why we are observing this and seeing this. So, but we certainly do see it, and it certainly has been an effective tool, given the fear that is evident not only in governmental leaders, but the fear that's evident in corporate and business leaders. I am sick and tired of having homosexuality shoved down my throat by my bank and by my.
You're missing an arena there too, though.
What's that?
Something. It's in the family system as well. Something that not to get too into the weeds, but I've actually had issues with a couple of my kids turning to homosexuality and being told that, hey, you can't parent them this way anymore because it's detriment to them. So, people like myself end up in a situation because of the changing climate and whatnot.
Oh yeah. It's and the speed with which it has happened has been absolutely mind-numbing. I think we're definitely on the catch-up side, unfortunately, because of that. So, anyway, Carlos, thank you very much for your phone call.
Thanks.
All right, God bless. One more here. We went a little bit long. Let's talk with Josh. Hi, Josh.
Hey, Dr. White. I had a question on 1 Corinthians 6.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy reading ESV, NASB, and I'll even compare Holman sometimes. And I noticed the NASB, when it's translating the nominatives in 1 Corinthians 6 in the list, it kind of keeps it as identities, like a person who is an idolater or a person who is a thief. But then I noticed in the ESV and Holman, it changed homosexuals and effeminate to one word, and it changed it to a practice rather than keeping it with like an identity that they are homosexuals. Rather than saying they are homosexual and are effeminate, it changed it to they practice homosexuality. And I was just wondering if you could explain that, why they would switch there, or again, I like ESV. I'm not attacking it or anything.
Well, yeah, I've mentioned a number of times that I think the ESV has done a very good job there because the phrase is uta malakoi, uta arsenokoitai, and malakoi means soft or effeminate. Arsenokoitai comes from Leviticus 20:13, and it is plainly male homosexuals. And what the ESV is interpreting this is, why would malakoi be where it is between adulterers and homosexuals? and they're taking it as a combined phrase that refers to the active and passive partners in male homosexual contact. And so the arsenokoitai would be the aggressive dominant, and the malakoi would be the effeminate feminine in that relationship. And I think there's good reason for seeing it that way. And whenever I address 1 Corinthians 6:9 in my teaching, I make sure people understand there are two terms here, and that's why in most translations you see two terms being translated, but they are probably the ones that there's actually a descriptive here that is more descriptive than we might be comfortable with, actually.
Right.
So that's why they took it the way that they did, and I think there's a good foundation for that. As to translating it practice or statement, I don't think that's really, again, I obviously am one that doesn't look at English translations as the final word, and so I'm looking at it, and it's understood that arsenokoites is one who practices a certain thing and is marked by that certain thing. So whether you render it as men who practice homosexuality or as homosexuals, I don't see that's
not a big difference.
A big difference, no.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Well, thank you. I've just been studying. I'm a youth pastor here in Kansas, and been reading Robert Gagman's book and your stuff, and Kevin DeYoung, and it's just been something I've been wondering about. So.
Okay. Well, good.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks,
Yes,
Josh.
sir.
All right. God bless. Bye-bye. Good phone calls today. Thank you very much for participating in the program, and we went a little bit long there, but that's good. I think we'll be back a week from now. Yeah, should be. Got a long trip on Monday, but should be back a week from now. And if I recall correctly, that 1 week, that's the 1 week where we should be doing programs the whole week, I think. We'll see. But anyways, do pray for the recording this afternoon, and don't forget South Africa coming up and the neat opportunities coming up there. We'll see you next time on the Dividing Line. God bless.